Hello. Welcome back to Module 4, Prompt Creation. Today, we will go over Section 2, Framework and Template. In this video, you will learn a widely used structure for creating effective prompts for artificial intelligence tools, as well as an easy-to-use pattern for creating your own. In the last video, we covered the differences between prompts and output, and the ideas behind prompt engineering. Now, let's look at a specific way you can apply prompt engineering. The CLEAR framework is a creation of Dr. Leo Lowe, Dean of the College of University Libraries and Learning Science at the University of New Mexico. The framework is a structured approach that enhances interactions with generative AI. It is also the one that the Barton Library recommends for your use. The framework is designed to elicit more accurate and useful AI-generated content. It improves the quality and relevance of AI-generated content. And it promotes critical thinking and intentionality when interacting with AI. The 5 principles of the CLEAR framework are: concise, or incorporating brevity and clarity in your prompts. Keeping prompts succinct and to the point will allow the AI tool to focus on the keywords of the query. Prompts should avoid unnecessary details or ambiguity. This approach leads to more precise and relevant responses with all the needed details. Use a more concise and explicit prompt such as, explain the top 3 challenges in U.S. weather forecasting and their effects on the public, instead of the more wordy, can you provide me with a detailed explanation of the top 3 challenges in U.S. weather forecasting and how they affect the public? Instead of requesting, please provide me with an extensive discussion on the factors that contributed to the economic decline of Venezuela in the last 40 years, use a concise prompt like, identify factors behind Venezuela's economic decline. Logical. Or, making structured and coherent prompts. Since AI models seek statistical connections between words and concepts, you should structure prompts that follow a logical flow and an order of ideas. Logically structured prompts using clear and consistent language facilitate better comprehension by the AI. A prompt that follows a natural progression in its information or query makes it easier for the AI tool to understand the context and relationships between disparate concepts. Additionally, complex tasks can be broken down into smaller, sequential steps. This results in outputs that are not only relevant, accurate, and coherent, but also exhibit a clear and understandable structure, mirroring the logical flow of the prompt itself. List the steps of how a bill becomes a law in the United States, starting with the drafting of the bill and ending with the bill going to the president, is a logically structured prompt. Another could be, define the steps in the scientific method, beginning with forming a hypothesis and finishing with drawing conclusions. Explicit, or, making clear output specifications. An explicit response allows you to clearly define your needs, and to understand the exact information or type of response you seek from the tool in question. Using direct and unambiguous language in your prompts reduces the chance of misinterpretation and receiving unexpected or unrelated responses. Incorporating details and context, such as examples or templates, aids the AI tool in understanding the scope and specifics of your request. Setting clear boundaries and limitations results in exact areas being focused upon or avoided. Clearly defining the preferred output presentation allows you to receive the desired format, such as lists, summaries, or detailed explanations, sources, terminology, tone, reading level, length, and style. Instead of, can you tell me about contemporary dance, an explicit prompt would be, explain the classical, modern, and jazz elements and techniques found in contemporary dance. Rather than prompting, describe the collapse of the Soviet Union, incorporate details and context such as, describe the impact of the collapse of the Soviet Union on Russian domestic politics. As a substitute to, how can we reduce corruption in public institutions, set clear boundaries and limitations such as, recommend 10 approaches to reduce corruption in U.S. federal institutions, especially in the executive branch. One trick is to use a prompt such as, the response should be appropriate to a community college class, to help guide the AI tool to the correct training data and to customize the output. Adaptive, or, flexibility and customization in prompts. Adaptability emphasizes the importance of analyzing, revising, and refining prompts based on AI-generated outputs. This means focusing on improving the quality and relevance of your prompts by expanding on keywords or topics found in the previous response, rephrasing or structuring prompts, attempting new approaches or parameters, and experimenting with different prompting techniques and strategies, and actively engaging with your prompts to ensure they meet your needs. If you evaluate the results to an initial prompt such as, explain black holes, as too technical, you might refine your prompt to, explain black holes in simple terms. The target prompt will result in a clearer, more accessible response. If a prompt about the causes of World War II results in an extremely broad overview, you might try a more targeted and adaptive prompt such as, describe the embargo on scrap metal exports the United States imposed on Japan in 1940 and its consequences. If a response to, what is Baroque sculpture, is incomplete, you can probe further by asking more targeted follow-up questions like, can you provide more details on the artistic elements of sculpting during the Baroque era? Reflective, or exercising thoughtful analysis. Reflection will allow you to critically evaluate the relevance, accuracy, and completeness of the output. Consider the strengths and limitations of the AI model. Note the effectiveness of the prompt and identify areas for improvement. Does the output make intuitive sense to you? Was the information too general, too detailed, or off-topic? Did it miss the crucial points in which you are interested? Was the response based on current or outdated research? Has the AI tool returned hallucinations or inaccurate information? Use your observations to adjust your approach. If the initial response was too broad, try adding more specific details or context. If the response missed a critical aspect, include it in your subsequent query. If the information was outdated, instruct the model to restrict its references to a specific date range. The process is iterative, and each interaction with the tool is an opportunity to learn and improve. Note how changes in your prompts affect the AI's responses and adjust your approach accordingly. Discuss your finds with peers or instructors, or your subject specialist librarian. Sharing your experiences can provide new perspectives and deepen your understanding of effective AI communication. There are likely dozens and dozens of templates on the internet that can help you craft effective prompts. Keeping in mind the clear framework we just finished discussing, here is an effective template you can use. Persona, defining the viewpoint that the AI tool should adopt, provides perspective, sets expectations, and guides its subsequent output toward more relevant and personalized responses. Should the tool act as a student, an academic, a lawyer, or scientist? Task or goal, articulating the task or objective of your prompt, and defining its scope, will give the AI tool a clear outline of your expectations. Will the task be simple or difficult? What type of data will be analyzed? Are there specific terminologies? Is this sales ad copy, an outline for a college essay, a blog post, or a resume? Be sure to write clear instructions. Audience, define the target audience or the manner in which the reader should be addressed. Are you writing to a college instructor, a social media reader, or prospective employers? Context, providing relevant background information will support the task or goal. The more detail, the better. Add additional steps if the task requires it. Format, specify the desired format of the output, such as hashtags, bullet points, or graphs. You can also instruct the tool on formality, tone, and style. Reference data, providing examples, such as facts, definitions, case studies, statistics, or measurements, will provide additional context and guide the AI tool in understanding the response you are expecting. This will also reduce the number of hallucinations. Clarify the source from which the tool should take its data. Evaluate results, verify the output is what you wanted. If not, revise and re-input. If outputs are too long, request brief replies. If they are too simplistic, ask for expert-level writing. If your prompts are complex, divide them into a series of subtasks. This will help to decrease the number of errors. Check the accuracy of the output using your own expertise. Now, let's try an example using the CLEAR framework and this template. I want you to act as a community college student traveling in North Africa, the Middle East, East Africa, Central Asia, South Asia, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, China, the Iberian Peninsula, and West Africa. Write a detailed itinerary for a group of world travelers that will mimic the journeys of Ibn Battuta from 1325 to 1332, 1332 to 1347, and 1349 to 1354. Include waypoints with both contemporary and modern place names. Summarize Battuta's experiences at each waypoint. Include grid coordinates of waypoints. Take information from Ibn Battuta, Travels in Asia and Africa, 1325 to 1354, translated and selected by H.A. Arf Gibb. Use scholarly secondary sources that are accessible on the internet to provide additional relevant details. Provide URLs for secondary sources. Limit the dates of the secondary sources to between 2004 and 2024. Write a bibliography of the sources used in Chicago Manual of Style. Try inputting these prompts into ChatGPT and see what kind of response you get. Next time. With this video, we have finished Module 4. In the next, we'll move on to Module 5 and the idea of problem formulation, which is being offered as the alternative to prompt engineering. Until then, thank you for your time. If you want to learn more about the subjects we have discussed, here are the sources used for this section.